What's up, boxing fans? This is Lil Rand Man, and I'm coming at you with another edition of ATL Boxing Talk. And I've been getting some emails, and I've been getting some questions from some of my subscribers here, and they're asking me what I think about the heavyweight division. And I'll tell you straight up, the heavyweight division sucks. It is it's a shambles. It's just a freaking train wreck. We just had a fight this past weekend between Vitaly Klitschko and David Chisora, or Derek Chisora, a British heavyweight. Really nobody of any importance. But the only exciting thing about that fight was actually the post-fight interview between Chisora and David Haye. David Haye actually interjected himself into the post-fight interview. For what reason? I mean, David Haye, you are irrelevant right now. You've already had your shot at the Klitschko's, and you blew it. Chisora, you had your shot Saturday, and you blew it. But you two want to sit back and fight with each other at the post-fight interview. That's just retarded to me. But that's the division of that's where the heavyweight division is, boxing fans, right there. The best, the most legitimate heavyweight contenders that we have is David Haye, Thomas Adamek, Chris Arreola, and let's see, Samuel Peter. All of these guys have been beaten by the Klitschko's. Thomas Adamek really didn't help himself at all, because in the post-fight interview, he was like, that's the hardest he's ever been hit in his life. Thomas Adamek is a blown-up cruiserweight. David Haye, a blown-up cruiserweight. My man Chris Arreola, hey, he's a legitimate heavyweight, but his skills are limited. Samuel Peter, same thing. Legitimate heavyweight, decent heavyweight punch. Skills just aren't there. So here's what we have. We have two heavyweights, which are brothers, that refuse to fight each other because they are brothers. Now, coming up, I couldn't have done that. That just couldn't have been me. If I had a brother that was fighting in the same division with me, one of us would have to be the undisputed champion. One of us would just have to get beat. But the thing is, I would have to know. I would have to know between the two of us who is the best. These two refuse to fight each other because, hey man, we're brothers, and we're not going to do that. Listen, if you two get in that ring and beat the living crap out of each other, you're still going to be brothers at the end of the fight. The fact that you fought each other isn't going to eliminate the fact that you're brothers. You're going to still be brothers. You're going to still love each other. Some of the best fights that we've had have been between family or best friends. Maurice Blocker and Simon Brown. They were best friends. They loved each other after the fight, but they beat the living hell out of each other in the ring. And really produced one of the best fights I've ever seen. You mean to tell me that the two of you can't fight for $30 million? I bet you all probably got to fighting over a girlfriend growing up. Probably even something smaller than that. Y'all probably got to fighting over sandwiches. Oh, why you wearing my shoes? Y'all probably beat the living hell out of each other for a whole lot less. And you can't fight for $30 million apiece? You mean to tell me that your dream growing up was to be one half of the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? That was your dream. We're going to rule the heavyweight division together. Not one of you has sat down and thought, you know, between the two of us, who's the best? I would like to know. But that's just me, boxing fans. That's my opinion of the heavyweight division. I think the heavyweight division sucks. And I think the two champions that are at the top of the heavyweight division, I think they suck too. But it's just that they're so big and they're so lengthy, they can throw a half-hearted jab and still win fights on it. And that's how they've been able to survive so far. They're not really brewing with talent. I mean, they're not oozing talent. That's not what they're doing. They're just two big guys that had a legendary trainer come in and show them how to halfway throw a jab and throw a straight right hand behind him. They both get tired. I mean, they both tire very easily. Was it Vladimir or Vitaly? I mean, he got knocked out in the fight simply because he tired. You know, they're both easily. I mean, they both can easily be beat. I mean, hell, Chris Berg got in the ring and beat one of them. He got in the ring and lost to one, but he got in the ring and beat one of them. And Chris Berg is a blown-up middleweight. I mean, all you have to do is just be big enough and have a monochrome of talent. And these guys are, I mean, it's terrible. And what it's doing to this sport is just, I don't know, man. It's horrible. But listen, I spent 5 minutes on that. So boxing fans, you know, that's where I am with the heavyweight division. If there's a heavyweight contender that's coming along, I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's not even born yet. Hopefully he is. Hopefully he's not on somebody's football field. But that's where we're losing all our heavyweight contenders to, is to football, because football can pay these guys now. And they figure, why train to get knocked out when I can go out on the gridiron and play as a team and still make the ESPN highlight reel. You know, and that's just where we're at with that. So fortunately, we have, you know, the featherweight division. We definitely have the welterweight division that's holding down boxing right now, and the super middleweight division. And it looks like the light heavyweight division is about to get some life, you know, breathed back into it, because you know, we got some good fights coming up on the horizon. I think once Andre Ward makes his exodus from the middleweight division, or the super middleweight division, excuse me, then it's going to open up a lot of things for people like Carl Froch. There seems to be a fight that's going to be signed for Carl Froch and Lucian Bute, which is going to be a good fight. I think that Carl Froch will beat Lucian Bute, but I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for him. I think that when it's all said and done, it's going to be a hard-fought fight. But Carl Froch will end up ruling the super middleweight division once my man has exited. I mean, I really believe that Carl Froch will be the man to beat. Andre Ward, once he moves up to the light heavyweight division, I think the sky's the limit for him. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be looking for the winner between Bernard Hopkins and Chad Dawson, and once that, you know, that whole debacle is all straightened out, I'm pretty sure he's going to make his move and challenge there. I think that Andre Ward could beat both of them, even though Chad Dawson is just as athletic as he is. I think Andre Ward has more heart, and I think his skill level is a little bit better than that of Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson loses focus a lot in fights. That's something that you don't see with Andre Ward, and I think that'll be enough to get him the championship that he, you know, will want at the 175-pound weight limit. And I think that he'll rule as long as he wants to. He'll be another Roy Jones at 175. And so I'm looking forward to that. As far as the welterweight division goes, I mean, we got a lot of good fights coming up there. Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao, that's a good fight. That's a fight that Manny Pacquiao, like I've said before, he could potentially lose that fight. And as far as Timothy Bradley, he can really make his mark now. I mean, he's been doing it slowly, and he's been beating contenders. You know, contenders that went on to do pretty big things. Lamont Peterson. He kind of mopped the floor with Lamont Peterson. It was a very one-sided fight. Devin Alexander, the same thing. But now he really gets to show his skills against a fighter with a really big name. And in my book, is ranked number 4 as pound for pound. So he really, this is his spot in the sun. And I do think he will show up for that. We got Mayweather Cotto. That's a big name fight. not necessarily a competitive fight, but it's a big name fight. And I do think that Floyd Mayweather will carry Cotto probably 6 or 7 rounds and maybe even 8 rounds, and then go ahead and dispatch of him and prove his superiority at 147. You know, but hey, it's still a decent fight. The Lamont Peterson fight and the Amir Khan fight has been signed again. They will do it again. I think that fight is going to be just as exciting as the first fight. Probably even better. Both of them have something to prove. Lamont Peterson has to prove that it wasn't a fluke, that he can do it a second time. He can do it as many times as he wants to. And Amir Khan has to really prove to the world and to Bob Arum mostly, because that's where the money is coming from, that, look, y'all can bank on me. I have to give Amir Khan some credit. He did come over to the United States, and he took on some legitimate challengers, guys that hurt him. And in Lamont Peterson, a guy that they probably even overlooked a little bit, but the fact that he's willing to step right back in the ring with him again and get it on, hey, kudos to you, Amir Khan, man. I like you British fighters, man. You guys have a meanness and a swagger. You guys really do think that athletically you guys are right on par with the American athletes, and I like that. So hopefully that'll turn out to be as good as the first fight. And if it does, hey, man, that's good for boxing. So, listen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. This has been Lil Ram, man. This is ATL Boxing Talk. And, listen, you all keep feeding me information, man. Ask me as many questions as you need to ask. I love to hear from boxing fans because I love the sport of boxing. And I look forward to hearing from you guys again. Have a good one.